With the holidays hastily approaching, many of you are interested in new game consoles, and for some of you, that console is the Nintendo Switch. But if you're looking for one, and there's 3 different models to select from, which one is right for you? Well, allow me to take a few moments of your time to help you answer that question. To get the ball rolling, there are 3 models currently available for Nintendo Switch. The base model, which starts at $299.99 US, the Nintendo Switch Lite, which starts at $199.99 US, and the Nintendo Switch OLED, starting at $349.99 US. While all 3 models offer the same experience in terms of graphics, resolution, gameplay, and all of that good stuff, there are some significant differences that impact the end user, being you. Let's start things off with the Nintendo Switch Lite, the smallest one of the family. This system is a dedicated portable system, meaning that there is no detachable controllers, it cannot be connected to a TV, it is strictly a portable system. And to achieve that, Nintendo is able to shrink down the overall footprint of the unit so to make it more portable than its older 2 brothers. Now, what you sacrifice is, like I said, detachable Joy-Cons, an adjustable kickstand, and the ability to play multiplayer games locally. But those are features you will get when you step up to the base model. With the base model, you get the full Nintendo Switch experience, at least the base experience. And what does that entitle? That means you get the system, the tablet, 2 detachable Joy-Cons, the dock, all the cables needed, and the ability to play multiplayer games right out of the box, no additional purchases or controllers needed. And that's great for the end user, but while that system is the base model, it unfortunately is not the best one. And the best one right now is the Nintendo Switch OLED. It shares many of the same features that the base Switch does, but improves upon them. The most notable one being in the system's name is the OLED screen. The original Switch base model has a 6.2-inch LCD display. The Switch OLED has a 7-inch full pixel array OLED screen, meaning you are going to get bright, vibrant picture with deep blacks and bright whites, better than any LCD can put out. In addition to the Switch OLED screen, you also get a fully adjustable kickstand like those found in Microsoft Surface tablets, which is funny because I remember back in 2017 when Switch first came out, I said that if Nintendo had made the Switch kickstand like the Microsoft Surface, it would have made a much better tabletop experience. Speaking of that, the Switch model, both the base and OLED models, offer more ways to play, meaning you can play as a dedicated handheld, you can play docked on a TV like the one I have behind me, or you can even play in what's called tabletop mode, wherein you grab your Switch, you pop out the kickstand, detach the Joy-Cons, and now the system will sit flat on a table, and if you have the OLED model like I do, you can adjust the angle at which the screen faces you and your potential player too. Which is great. More features, more functions, but those features and functions, like I said, come at a cost. With the Switch base model coming at $100 more than the Lite, and the Switch OLED coming in at $150 more than the Switch Lite. Now, are those features better for you? Well, the Switch OLED does offer pretty much the same experience in terms of features that the base model Switch does, but it doubles the storage from 32 to 64 gigabytes, which is still laughable considering that most smartphones start at 128 gigs and go up to 1 terabyte in storage. The Switch OLED also has a metal kickstand, which offers a more premium feel in the hands, and since it's fully adjustable, like I said, you have all of those angles that you can play at. In addition, there are some cosmetic changes like the power and volume rockers that have been changed slightly from the Switch base to OLED models, and that's pretty much where the features stop on the handheld itself. When we get to the dock, the Switch OLED features maybe an objectively more refined dock, wherein that it now offers an Ethernet jack built into the dock instead of having to buy a $10 or $15 external adapter that takes one of the USB ports and then turns it into an Ethernet adapter. Now, if you're the kind of person who likes to play their game systems, especially the Switch docked online through Ethernet, then the Switch OLED might be the best bet for you if you can get your hands on one. But therein lies the problem. Due to the pandemic and everything that's been going on in the last year and a half or so, unfortunately, the Switch OLED has been very troublesome for a lot of people to find. Right up there with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series systems, this particular one, for some reason, despite using the same hardware chipsets that are in the original model, is still very hard to find. And at a $50 difference, honestly, what it comes down to is what you can get your hands on at this time. Now, don't get me wrong. Is the OLED screen beautiful? Yes, absolutely. Is the kickstand very convenient? Absolutely. And it's worth $50 more in my opinion. But if it comes down to you buying a base Switch or a Switch Lite at MSRP versus paying a scalper, do not pay the scalper, because anything above MSRP and the OLED really isn't worth any extra money. While the screen is pretty, it's not worth what the scalpers are asking, trying to double or even triple their profits on the cost of the Switch. Now, let's go back to what we were discussing about functionality. How are you going to be playing the Switch? If you're someone that's going to be primarily playing this system in its dock, meaning you're just going to play on a TV like it was a PlayStation, an Xbox, or even a previous gen Nintendo home console, then the base Switch is the best route for you to go, as the LCD or the screen built onto the system doesn't really matter for you, and if you need an Ethernet jack, you either can go buy an adapter that takes a USB to Ethernet, or you can just go buy the Switch OLED dock that can be used interchangeably with the base Switch model for an additional charge. That's pretty much what it comes down to. All the peripherals are the same in terms of first-party ones. Any Joy-Cons will work on any Nintendo Switch system except for the Lite. Those can only be connected via Bluetooth. But at the end of the day, if docked mode is what you're going to be primarily playing, then the base Switch is what's good for you. Now, what about for those dedicated portable players out there? For you guys, I personally have two recommendations, the Nintendo Switch OLED or the Nintendo Switch Lite. And while there is a $150 difference between those two models, each of them certainly has their strengths and weaknesses. The Switch Lite, its biggest strength, aside from its cost, is in its form factor. If you're just going to be playing the system on the go, then a smaller system that's all one piece, that feels rigid in the hands, is the route you need to go. While the screen may not be an OLED screen, it's so much smaller that I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of you, including myself, are willing to overlook that small downgrade in screen quality. Now, if you want the more premium feeling handheld experience on the go, then the Switch OLED is the route you'd want to go, especially if you're looking to play it with other people. You know, that screen really does pop out at you when you're playing any kind of Nintendo game or any third-party game for that matter. An OLED screen truly does enhance the user experience, and with the detachable Joy-Cons and the kickstand, you do get a much better portable experience. However, that comes at a cost of $150 more than the Switch Lite model. So with that being said, it's really up to you to decide which one is more convenient for you. I certainly have my opinions on the two models. Now, with the Switch OLED being out for 2 months, I've been playing this system extensively since then. My original Animal Crossing Switch that I got at launch has since been packed away, as the OLED screen has certainly taken my favor, although I still use the Animal Crossing Joy-Cons from time to time. Color preferences, really. And what it comes down to this holiday season is, like I said, what you can get your hands on. While the Switch OLED is a nice upgrade to the base Switch, it's Nintendo taking the Nintendo DS, DSi, DS Lite, DS XL approach, where in every couple of years they'll add a few improvements to the handheld and charge the brand new MSRP for it, just to reinvigorate interest in the platform. And while that's nice, this isn't a $160 handheld like in the past, this is a $350 portable hybrid system. So if you can get your hands on a Switch or a Switch Lite this holiday season, by all means you are going to enjoy the plethora of games available from Nintendo and third-party partners. And if you can't get the OLED Switch, while that might be a shame if that was the model you truly wanted, know that while its enhancements over the base model are nice, they're really not worth paying any more than the MSRP to get your hands on. And of course, you can always just buy a Switch now and upgrade to an OLED at a later date. Those options are always available. So with that being said, let me know which system you plan to get or you already own this holiday season. I always love reading what you guys have to put down there in the comment section. And as always, stay happy and healthy, and of course safe, especially during this holiday season. And as always, I will see you in the next video, but until then, take care everyone.
Hi. If you've made it to this point in the video, please feel free to rate it however you see fit, and if you're new to the channel, hit the bell and the subscribe button to be notified when I upload new videos. If you're interested as well, feel free to join my Discord chat to talk with me and my subscribers about anything related to gaming. The link can be found below in the description. Until then, I'll see you around. Bye-bye.